Well, Danian Tomlinson here in Orange County Disneyland for the Sports Awards, which are very personal for you. First of all, you look fantastic. You got some purple kicks.
Yes.
That is a good look. Where did you get the kicks at?
I got them custom made from a place called Lombardo down in Dallas, Texas.
And you played college at TCU.
Yes.
So you've got your haberdasher and your tailor all set up. What, nobody in San Diego makes purple shoes?
Well, I don't know about that. You know, I kind of call them. I like to keep it in the family, and the family is in Texas, and so obviously I want to support them guys back there. So, and plus I didn't know anybody out here my rookie year. I've been working with this guy for a while now.
You know, how good of a high school football player were you? You were recruited and went to TCU. Great program, but that's not a USC or an Oklahoma.
Right.
How good were you?
Well, most of my high school career I played fullback, so I was playing out of position, and I got the chance to play tailback my senior year, where if you know the college recruiting process, they start your sophomore year and then they watch you your junior year and they start offering you scholarships, and your senior year is kind of when they already know they want to offer you scholarships. Well, I was playing fullback, so then nobody knew who I was. And so my senior year, I had a great year. I had like 2,500 yards, 39 touchdowns. And so I came out of nowhere, but all the bigger schools was like, who is this guy? Where did he come from? But TCU was the first school to start recruiting me, and they was on me hard, and I just felt like they were true to me in the end. You know, other schools, Baylor, A&M was there, but I felt comfortable with TCU.
You're the best running back in the league. When did you know, as a college player, I can play in the National Football League?
Actually, it wasn't until after my junior season. I led the nation in rushing my junior season, and I knew that I had an opportunity to play in the NFL, but I felt like at that point I was good enough to play in the NFL, but I needed to really get better my senior year. I wanted to improve on some things. People had questions about whether I can run inside. They didn't know how fast I was because they said I wasn't playing against elite competition. But I think I always knew after my junior season. But after my senior season, I really knew that I was one of the top running backs and possibly could become one of the better guys in the NFL.
Do you remember your first professional workout, combine, practice with the Chargers? I mean, when you made a move, made a guy miss. I mean, can you go back to that kind of moment of clarity when it was like, I'm okay here?
Yeah. You know what? It was at the Combine, actually. And I remember when I got on the flight going to the Combine, it was a lot of coaches from the Cowboys and other pro teams. And they asked me, they said, how fast are you going to run at the Combine? Are you at least going to run a 4.5? And I said, oh, yeah, I run a 4.5. And they said, okay, if you run a 4.5, then you're definitely going to go in the first round. And so at the Combine, my first time was a 4.38, and there was a guy there that said, you don't have to run again, you're in. And at that point, I knew it. I knew I had nailed it.
Did you call Mom?
Absolutely. I called Mom and said, Mom, I just nailed it. I ran a great time in the 40, and everybody's saying I'm going to be the top running back.
You've had an amazing, illustrious NFL career. For the first time in your career, you got some criticism at the end of last year.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to read the paper, see TV, and you'd been such a class guy and a great player, take heat?
Yeah. You know, it was difficult because it was my first time having to take criticism like that. But I think it was needed, you know, because it actually motivated me in a way that I've never been motivated before. You know, it challenged me in a way that I needed to be challenged, even at the point in my career where everybody was telling me how great I was. And I was starting to believe it a little bit,
Sure.
you know, but whenever I got the criticism, I refocused myself into, well, I think it's going to be the next great 4 or 5 years better than I've ever played before.
Were you angry? Has it been an angry off season or a?
No, it wasn't an angry. It was more like, I'll show you. You know, so it's not angry. It's just a fire that burns inside. You know, you have to appreciate it because everybody at some point in time in their career gets criticized. That's just the nature of the business. You can take it for what it's worth. You say, oh, everybody's picking on me, and how could they say that? Or you can say, you know what? Good. I'm glad they did that, and you can take it for what it's worth and build on it. And I think I'm gonna do the latter.